everybody. I think we lost. I'm gonna have to remember to look up at the camera now. I'm not on my laptop. Some of y'all said meet you be like the big screen, and I want to show y'all something tonight that's on a bigger screen. So we're gonna do it this way so that you can see better. You probably have a much better quality picture as well, you guys. Um, Y'all give me a second. I got to get my folks on MX Network on. Y'all do me a favor in the meantime, in between time, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you have not, hit that notification bell. And better yet, if you do not want to watch no commercials, you can head over to MX Network. The link is in the description of this video, and you can get your free subscription and you can watch this live while it's live. So you don't have to watch any commercials. Now, again, I don't know how commercials go over here. It is on the lowest setting. I don't know how YouTube be hitting y'all. Some of y'all say y'all seen 2 videos the whole show. Some of y'all say we done seen 55 videos the whole show. Some of y'all don't see none. I don't know. I have YouTube Premium, so I have not watched a commercial on YouTube in years. I be forgetting YouTube even have them other than the paycheck they give me, okay? So y'all can watch them, or you can head over to MX Network where you can, of course, have these conversations in the chat with us and everything as well. Shout out to everybody over on MX Network right now that is watching from there, you guys. We got a conversation to get into. I'm not going to be here long like I haven't been. I'm trying to stay consistent. We are going to tomorrow, you guys, have a call-in show. We have not done that in a while. I would like to get your opinion, right? So speak your mind of what you want to say after the conversation we're going to have tonight. Also, I don't want us to lose sight in everything that we see going on, you guys, that troops are still coming to Chicago. The military is supposed to be coming to 19 inner cities across this country. Now, it would be interesting to find out, are they going to send troops to Utah? Because I heard that it's some real radical motherfuckers out there, and they are shooting people that are out there just, speaking their mind. They ain't like what he was saying. So they unalived the man yesterday. So I just want to know, will the troops be going there? I don't know. Somebody should ask Trump and he can let us know. Okay. Somebody said HBCU is racist as fuck anyway. Okay, that's not the point, Black Light. Look, let me tell y'all something about HBCUs, okay? For me, I have always felt like I went to college too. I didn't go to an HBCU. I feel like HBCUs are to me, we have a lot of people, because we've had this conversation before, that were in the chat, and they was like, I went to one, my cousin went to one, my kids went to one, my mama went to one, and they seem to think that it's a really great thing. I don't know, because I didn't have an experience there. What I do know is that I feel like HBCUs, if I'm going to go to a Black school that's supposed to be specific to Black people, I feel like I should be learning Black curriculums. There should be some more Blackness in what it is that they're giving us, right? I feel like I should look around and not have a bunch of white instructors. Like, my understanding is just that any other college, like you on the campus, is Black folks, but it's also white folks, every other race of folks. It is white professors that are teaching y'all. They're not necessarily, if somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't go to one, but it's not necessarily this Black school. I don't know. Do y'all have extra curriculum that's extra Blackness that teaches y'all about Black things? Or are y'all just learning the same stuff they teach at all the white schools? And if that is the case, what's the point? That's how I feel about HBCUs. Also, I really get tired of politicians and everybody using HBCUs to try and act like, oh my God, we got to fund these schools. Don't get me wrong if you went there, but fuck all these schools. And this is coming from a woman with 2 bachelor's degrees. This is the thing, is that when we talk about the Black community, let's be clear about this. Do you know how many Black people will never go into college? Not a white school, not a junior college, not a HBCU, not a Tootie Rooty Poo. They're not going to go to any school. So when politicians keep bringing up HBCUs, I feel like politically, it doesn't win me over with a politician to say, we're going to fund an HBCU, or we're going to put all this money into an HBCU, because statistic-wise, that really doesn't benefit the majority of the Black community. It doesn't. I'd rather have them fund that money into something else that that more of the Black community would benefit from. I do not think that the Black community benefits enough from college, period, that it should be like this thing that wins you over when it comes to politicians and votes. It just really isn't. It's not that big of an impact on the Black community that should be something that should win you over, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I hear you, Black Light, but I think tonight's conversation is an important one. We need to pay attention to it. I would love to hear y'all opinions tomorrow. Now, when I do drop the link tomorrow, we have this call-in show. What y'all better not do. Don't you come up here and tell me about what you ate for dinner. Don't you bring your ass up here and talk about, all of this other stuff that ain't got nothing to do, because I'll be dropping a link like, let's have a panel. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to bring one person up at a time, speak your piece, and then go on. I'm going to go to the next person, because y'all like to come up here and don't be having no opinion on the topic, and I'll be wondering why you brought your ass up here. Because we do have a topic, y'all. Do not do that shit to me tomorrow, because I'm gonna drop some of y'all off in the middle of y'all sentence, and I'm gonna need y'all to not be mad at me. I'm gonna just need y'all to learn to follow goddamn rules, okay? That's what I need y'all to do for me. So like this video, y'all, share this video, because we are going to have a conversation. I don't know if any other person is having this conversation. I know on the surface, it looks like, oh, we're going to talk about the HBCUs and how they're threatening us. Yes, but of course, there is a much deeper conversation that needs to be had here. We're going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit, because it's not really what we see on the surface that I actually want to talk about, y'all, okay? So with that said, there is a clip that I would like to play. I do want to remind everybody that in LA, coming up on September 20th and 21st, there will be an event there. You guys can look for the link to that also in the description of this video, and get your tickets. It's donation based, so you can give what you can, bring who you want, and we are getting ready to get into survival, right? We are going to have a class. That class is going to be we're going to be hanging out a little bit, maybe 3 to 4 hours, right? We have some things we're going to do much more than I talk about it here, you guys. I'm going to show you how you use some of the supplies that you should have. I have a lot of paperwork for you to help you build your own, survival plan, things of that nature. And so we're going to go over all of that. We will have some food and things like that. Shout out to the young lady that is putting it all together out there in LA. And so we will be doing that on Saturday, and on Sunday, we will then be having the class about how to make money online. We will go over more than 10 ways. I will give you the basic lineup. I will give you some information. I will give you some paperwork so that you can go home, do your due diligence. Of course, it will not be as much information as I give in my 6-week boot camp, you guys, just because 3-4 hours versus 6-week boot camp. I mean, I'm sure y'all can understand that, but I'm going to give you what I can, and it will be plenty that if you're a real go-getter, you can take the information you have and do something with it. I think these things are really important. I want y'all to remember this. And the reason why they are important, you guys, is because what we're going to get into tonight is one more reason why I talk about survival, right? So I know you think we talking about HBCUs, but no, I want to talk to you about what's really going on and what this means. I don't know how many of you have lived in this country and feel like all your life you never thought that there would be civil war or there would be a bunch of turmoil going on in the streets of America. You watch people who protest, who march, but I don't think we have yet seen where people in the streets actually have a target, and that target is not arguing with the police, it's not arguing with the government, but it's fighting with each other. Okay. And we could be getting very close to that. And y'all should be aware of that. Civil unrest is a very real thing. And I think that we're on the very tipping point of that more than we have been since the civil fucking war. Okay. So let's keep that in mind as we have this conversation, y'all. So I'm just going to get into it. So I'm not here long, but I am going to be strong about what I got to say. So y'all make sure you like this video, share this video, with other people that need to come in and watch this. But let's see what they have to say. And hopefully y'all can hear this clip, because the laptop I'm using tonight is not my normal one. So I think y'all should be able to hear it. Let me know in the chat if you cannot hear it. Yes, HBCUs is on lockdown, and everybody has been told to take their ass to their dormitory. There's no class for the next couple of days. And so I'm gonna let the news tell you. So let's go ahead and play that clip, y'all. Let me put this on the screen. Now, y'all let me know in the chat, you guys, if you can hear this or not. I think you should be able to hear it, right? Somebody says civil war, class war, race war, whatever war, your mama war, your daddy war. I just want to know, is you ready for war? because apparently after what has happened, there's a lot of people that are ready for war. Okay. So let me go ahead and play this clip. I know y'all can see it. Let me know if y'all cannot hear it. Okay.
Continue to follow a number of stories right here on Live Now from Fox. And I did want to transition to some breaking news into our studio as 5 historically Black colleges and universities are now on alert after receiving threats. And I did want to share what each of these universities and colleges are sharing with the public right here. This is a social media post from Hampton University stating that the university has received notice of a potential threat and has ceased all non-essential activity effective immediately. They say the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, staff, and visitors remain our highest priority. All campus activities and classes are canceled today and tomorrow to include all athletic events and activities, and campus community is encouraged to conduct any meetings and remotely. So we are continuing to follow this. We also have a number of other tweets that I did want to share with you. This from Southern University and AMM College stating that this university also has received a potential threat to campus safety and is on lockdown. They say that the lockdown applies to the entire Baton Rouge landmass, which also includes Southern University Law Center, Agriculture Research and Extension Center, and the laboratory school. They say if you are on campus, you should shelter in place until further notice, as the university is working with law enforcement agencies. We also have a number of other posts that we want to get to. This is from Alabama State University, as it has now canceled campus activities today, stating that the campus will be closed for the remainder of the day. Campus police, along with other law enforcement agencies, are actively clearing all buildings on campus. Once your building has been cleared, it says you will be permitted to leave only through the front entrance of your building. They say this is for your safety right there. So we are continuing to follow a number of other ones, including Virginia State University, stating that this university has received a threat to campus out of an abundance of caution. VSU rather remains on lockdown. Please continue to check for updates. And this final one that I did want to bring in, this is from Bethune-Cookman University, stating that due to a potential threat to campus safety, as a precaution, the university is currently on lockdown. All classes have been canceled. Students should return to their dorm rooms and shelter in place. All faculty and staff should head home, and those not on campus should plan to work remotely. Safety, they say, is our first priority, and we will continue to provide updates. So that is.
Okay, y'all. So I wanted to start off playing that for y'all, but we're going to go backwards a little bit now. We'll come back to this in a moment, okay? So let's go back to Charlie Kirk. I don't know how many of you guys know who Charlie Kirk is. Tomorrow, before we do our call-in, I have some clips I'm putting together for you so that I can show you who he is if you have not heard this man's rhetoric. And what he's had to say, right? He is very much a Trump supporter. He has been during the campaign right there next to Trump, even though, you know, he's not a politician. He has an organization and things of that nature. And so, you know, if you have not heard some of it, I just am going to tell you some of it. And then we will actually see it for ourselves tomorrow before we get into the call in. I will bring those receipts so that you can see for yourself. Shout out to Jack Millennial. I got it right. I think I called you the wrong name the other day. Thank you for the $20 holla. I appreciate that. You guys. And so if you don't know who he is, again, he has these different concepts about a lot of different things. Now, I have not disagreed with everything this man has said. You know, he talks a lot about gender and things like that, and how they press the LGBTQ on the people, and the way that they do stuff is just ridiculous. But he has also had a lot to say about Black people, right? So one of the things that he has had to say is, one is that he does not believe that we deserve reparations. He says, of course, like, as Black people living today, none of you are connected to your ancestors and can't prove that you were related to any of them. He says that the people today should not have to pay for something they didn't do, which I want to just stop right there and respond to some of that and say, like, the reason why this is ridiculous, because you're going to get some coons, they might be in here tonight, and you're going to get some white folks, they might be in here tonight, non-Black folks. But so let me address that before people try to say, well, that is true, that's true. I want to say first, your mama. Next, I want to say, first of all, this country has given plenty of reparations to people. So let's be clear. They gave reparations to the Jews, although the Holocaust did not happen here at all. They give reparations to Jews in Israel all the time. Matter of fact, is how they get ahead in all of the things they've done in this country. Most recently in COVID, remember when COVID happened, they gave Asians reparations. Now, I know you guys might not hear that term reparations when they give it, but the definition of reparation is giving a financial amount of money, but it can be other things as well, to fix something that was wrong to make it right. So let's be clear, reparations, for anybody who thinks like Charlie Kirk and thinks that what he is saying makes sense, reparations is not just about a check. It's about correcting a wrong that you did to make it right. How many of you remember when they were handing out checks? Now, I'm not sure how a check helped Asians, but during COVID, they said that, right, there was a bunch of Asian hate going on. Do you remember when they had the one mentally ill Black man? It was one clip of a mentally ill Black man walking down the street, and he decided to go upside the head of an older Asian woman. Do y'all remember that? So they didn't have a bunch of references. They didn't have tons of videos. They didn't have all of this evidence that people were going out and just doing things to Asians because they felt that they brought the virus into the country, right? And I thought that it was interesting that the one clip that they showed, just like tonight, they want to blame everything on Black people. It's always Black people's fault. You know, they'll tell us that we blame everything on the white man in the government. Well, maybe we learned it from you motherfuckers, because at the end of the day, y'all always want to place everything on Black people. So they took that image to make you believe that Black people was doing something to Asian folks, but they gave those people money. How many of you know that? They gave checks to Asian people and said that because y'all was getting all of this different hate during COVID, we're going to give you some extra money to make it right. Now, my question would be, how is giving them a check fixing the fact that they might have got disrespected or slapped in their head when they made it seem like they was getting beat up all the time, and that was not the case? How does giving them money fix that? And I'm not sure if Charlie Kirk knew. We can't ask him now because he's gone. But all of the people who follow him and thought that his commentary on that specific topic was correct, he do know that his tax dollars help to pay the Asians for Asian hate, right? Our tax dollars had to pay for them. Stuff that we had nothing to do with. I don't know about y'all, but for all the Black people in the chat, did any of y'all do anything to an Asian person? I didn't. So if we're going to go by what he said, then why are we giving out reparations to Asian people when I didn't do anything to an Asian person? I don't know any Black people who have. What I do recall, though, is that there was not too long before that, Black folks were in Asian nail shops and they were being brutalized and beat up. We have several instances of that going on, especially like the one time when the grandmother and her daughters, right, and they all went into the nail shop. How many of you remember that? Apple Nail Shop in New York, okay? Same place that they claimed this Black man was jumping on this Asian woman in New York. The Apple Nail Salon actually locked those women in there, threw acetone in this woman's face, all because they had paid for nails and toes. Now, if you've been to the nail shops, that is hundreds of dollars. They all got their feet done. They all got their nails done. They did the grandmother's eyebrows and they fucked them up. Now, let me tell you something. If you take off my eyebrow the wrong way, bitch, you can't fix my eyebrow. You can't put my eyebrow back. Now, getting eyebrows done might cost $7 to $10 in any given salon, okay? Now, she gonna pay the rest of the service, but she didn't want to pay for her eyebrows because they messed them up. So because of that, they locked these women in there. They jumped on these women. Even the men in the salon was beating them with broomsticks and throwing acetone in their face. How many remember that? But nobody had anything to say about that in the news. Like, I don't know. I think Asians and they tax dollars, maybe they owe us some reparations. So you see how when the shoe is on the other foot, it's always something different. So they have given out plenty of reparations to all kinds of people in this country, and they continue to do so. This government gives millions of dollars every single year to Israel. I'm not understanding why we owe Israel so much money, but we won't talk about them tonight. We'll get into that conversation another time, because a lot of the technology and the fact that we are open air prison, it's a lot of rabbit holes we could go down today, but we won't, right? Has a lot to do with the connection to Israel. Israel made genetically modified food. That's why they're growing strawberries out in the hot ass desert. So at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff you see here that has to do with our genetically modified foods, when it comes to technology, they own the company, I think it is Pantier or something pronounced like that. We'll get in that conversation another time. We're going to take a look at that company. They actually created technology where these trucks now can drive around your house and they can actually see through the walls of your home. Do y'all know that? They can scan your house, and from outside driving past in a truck, they can just see what's going on in your home, see where all of the people are in the house and what it is you're doing. This technology, they say, was created so that they could look into places and see where, you know, fugitives are hiding, or if there are bombs or things that they should see before they go into a building. Yeah, it sounds like a good reason, but they're actually using it for other purposes than just that. Well, that is a company through Israel. So I want you to understand that there's a whole lot of correlation with the government in Israel. They never have a problem with giving them money. I do recall a long time ago, there were still Nazi war soldiers that were alive and living in the United States. And the United States government took it upon themselves to say, even though the Holocaust did not happen here, baby, that if they found someone to be a Nazi war soldier, they did not care how old they were going to prosecute them and put them in prison. And they were locking up 80 and 70-year-old men who were Nazi war soldiers, right? How many of you remember that? So they have gone very hard for other people. The next thing that I would like to say when it comes to reparations, for anybody who thinks that what happened in slavery still doesn't affect us today, you just not paying attention. You don't want to see that is the case, because the bottom line is there are still companies that are thriving off the stuff that they started in slavery. All of that type of racism that was there still exists today. All of the systems that were back in play that were racist then, I could name them to you now. I will not do that on this live. I've done it plenty of times for my people who have been with me, right? But absolutely, the systems that they created that are racist from back then, they still exist today. They all got a new facelift. They're under new management. They call them something else, but the effects of what they do is the same goddamn thing. And the reason that the government would owe us reparations, other than the fact that they also owe us still 40 acres and a mule, like nobody got that, like was promised to us. So like, how much was that worth today? Okay. Also, the reason why we say that is because when we talk about racism, if we have sense, I'm not worried about the white man that might live at the end of the block. I'm not even worried about the racist white person say something to me smart when I'm outside. Nobody gives a fuck about y'all. Nobody's worried about y'all. I wouldn't call you white supremacy or having any power over me. Nobody give a damn about that. When we talk about racism, we should understand that racism is about systematic racism. It's the systems that it lives in that actually keep us back and hold us back. We won't get into all those systems tonight, but since the government put these systems in play that perpetuate racist things that keep us held back, that is why the government should pay us what they owe us. Okay. So it's amazing to me how all of that gets missed in his rhetoric. And there are Black people that are going to say they agree with him. And it's also going to be a lot of non-Black people who say they agree with him. And so those are one of the things that he had to say. I want to say real quickly, shout out to Jax Million again for the $20 holla. Thank you for the 2 super chats in the chat tonight, you guys. Somebody says, if you created something that is diabolical, why can't you find those illegals? Well, let them tell it. They finding them left and right? So again, he also is the person who says, of course, just like Trump and his administration, that, you know, women should be forced to have children no matter what, whether it is through incest, whether they've been raped or any of those kind of things. He was on a show where I don't know if you've ever seen this show. Candace Owens was on there, a couple of other people, but he was on there. And it's where all of these people debate him. He sits at the table and he goes over topics, and they'll push the buzzer. Whoever runs to the chair first, they get so many minutes. Everybody will say if they want that person to keep debating him or if they want them to get up. And so in this show, he states that even though he has children, one of them is a daughter, I believe. I don't know if they both are, but at least one of his children is a girl. And so he was asked that if his daughter had got, raped, would he still tell her she had to have the baby? He said, yes, she will. And so people thought that was some really extreme stuff. And as a father, that's crazy as hell to say that you would force your daughter to do that. But he's on this tip of you should not have an abortion for any reason. We have all of these people that believe this. So people had a problem with that. The LGBTQ community was mad at him. He also does a lot of arguments about the fact that the Black community is not where they're supposed to be, is because they don't have any fathers in their homes. And a lot of people that are in my comment section that are Black are probably going to say he's telling the truth. And I want to say to you, fuck you, because at the end of the day, again, I've been in Chicago lately, just to give you an example, on the South Side, in the hood, and I don't see nothing but men right around with the kids. The one statistic they don't talk about all the time is the statistic that says Black fathers are more involved in their children's lives than any other race. They're doing homework, they're eating dinner with them, and all of that. I would next like to ask y'all, how the hell would they know statistically how many fathers are in their children's lives? Did they knock on everybody's door and ask them that? Or do they get that based on people on welfare? Let's be honest, we rob Peter to pay Paul. So how many people do you think are on welfare and don't say that there's a man in the house? They don't claim his income because, of course, you couldn't get what you need from Peter so you can pay Paul. So if these are the things they're basing their statistics on, you haven't knocked on anybody's door and asked anybody that. Are you basing it on marital statistics? No, I'm not going to act like there aren't fathers in their kids' lives in the hood. Absolutely. But we're not going to act like in the trailer parks and where the white people are that all of them have the fathers in their lives either. So let's just stop that rhetoric, because there are plenty of men that are in their children's lives. But he's going to say that that's part of the Black community's problem. Now, for the children who don't have their fathers around, nobody wants to get into the conversation of mass incarceration. Maybe that's a big part of why a lot of their fathers are not around, right? When we talk about the crime bill with Biden, right? And all of the people in Biden that agreed to that, and all of the people that were in politics back then that are still got their asses trying to be in politics today, right? We can all agree that when they brought all of that crack into our communities, or maybe Charlie didn't know this, and maybe now that he is on the other side, he will become even more enlightened, because it has been told to us, it has been proven, and it is a true fact, okay, that the government has admitted to flooding our communities with crack. Y'all don't know that? So the government put the dope in our communities. And do you know why they brought the dope over here? It was to fund an illegal war. Do y'all not know that? Is there anybody today in my chat in 2025 that does not know that? They brought drugs into the country so that they could sell them and then use them to fund an illegal war. You can go look it up. They've already admitted to this. So for anybody to say, oh, the government's done nothing to hold Black people back, motherfuckers, y'all brought all these drugs into the community. And then after you brought them into the community and got a whole bunch of people hooked on these drugs that wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the government doing it, and you did it at the expense of the citizens, Black citizens in this country, so that you could fund an illegal war. And then once you flooded the communities with them, then you turned around and you said that you wanted to have a crime bill so that you could get all of these people selling drugs and all of the criminals off the street that had to do with the drugs that they brought into the goddamn country. Then you did a sweep and you locked everybody the fuck up. Then you brought things like the, what was it, 3 strikes law? So if you had 3 felonies, did we all forget about that? Now you're serving life in prison. Can we be clear that every felony is not a violent felony? And it did not matter. If you had 3 felonies, you were going to prison for life. That's crazy, because if I did a felony that only warranted me spending 3 years in prison, because whether y'all believe it or not, all felonies don't require you to go to prison forever. Every felony is not a violent thing. I keep saying this to y'all. You you can destroy property. You can write a bad check. And if that bad check was over so much money in that state, it could have been $300. It could have been $400. Every state has their own limit. That can be considered a felony. So you could have wrote 2 bad checks because you was poor. And then you could have got into it with your girlfriend or your boyfriend and decided to bust their tires out because you pregnant and your husband at some other girl house, so you destroy his car. Now you got 3 felonies. Now I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing that shit. What I'm saying is, how the fuck does something like that warrant 3 felonies? How does that warrant you doing the rest of your life in prison? You ain't murdered nobody. I just want you to understand. Nixon Keith said misdemeanors. I'm not talking about misdemeanors. They should be misdemeanors, but no, these are actually felonies. See, everybody that doesn't understand criminal justice, you may have not studied the law. Maybe you don't understand that there are a lot of things that are considered a felony that have nothing to do with being violent or selling drugs to people, right? So I know that when we hear felony, we always think that this is a person that has done some heinous crime. That is not true. That is not true at all. Okay. And so when you throw people in prison for all of this time, you're taking them away from their families. Or the fact that when they were giving Black people, because they didn't do this to white people, in order for them to get welfare, you couldn't have a man in your house. Why not? If our income combined is fucked up. So they pushed the men out only to give women money. So nobody wants to talk about all of these things that were done for the fathers that are not in the fucking homes, or how they tore up the Black communities and families. And then they act like, oh, we didn't do nothing to y'all. Get the fuck out of here. We didn't do nothing to y'all. Right? Nobody wants to have that conversation. You absolutely did do something to the Black community that destroyed the Black community. Okay. And in these three strikes you outlaw, does anybody want to talk about marijuana? Does anybody want to talk about that? Do y'all know that for as much as politicians blow smoke up your ass, and weed has been legal in Colorado, was the first state for a very long time now, a long time. Okay. And now other states have made it legal. And you keep hearing politicians and people tell you they're going to change the laws and let everybody out of prison that is doing time for weed. Do you know there are still people in prison doing time for weed? I remember when I was 19 and I did 6 months in the county jail. I was in there with a young lady who was 21 years old. She got caught with a pound of weed. They gave her 20 years like she killed somebody. But y'all didn't do anything to the Black community? Come on. But somebody wants to scream there are no fathers in the house, like, oh, that's just because by your DNA and by nature, Black men don't like to raise their kids. That's what they would like everybody to believe. Miss me with that bullshit. So this man, he spewed plenty of rhetoric that to me is absolutely racist, okay? Absolutely racist and disregarding and disrespectful to Black people. So he gets unalived at a speaking engagement that he had at Utah at a university where there was a bunch of white kids around, white people that were talking to him. This was not an event with Black people and Black folks there. Okay. And so this man has been unalived, and everybody is online right now that support him. There are people crying, and this includes Black and white. Let's be clear, because as of yesterday, we started watching the ridicule come forward in the Black community, where people are now chastising us, our own people, and even non-Black people are chastising Black folks and saying that we don't have any sympathy, that we are heartless, and that why are we celebrating, this man's death? Why are we doing this? And they're chastising us. I find it very interesting that the rhetoric is turned on us, because I am working on a video I will be putting up tomorrow, you guys. It's a compilation. It's only about 5 minutes, but I could have gone longer. I have found numerous videos of white people celebrating this man's death, laughing at him, joking and celebrating, okay? Way worse than you seen any Black people laughing or smiling. I've actually seen a lot of Black people online crying for this man and, oh my God, I feel sorry and I hope God blesses and helps his family. I've seen a lot of that. Right? Somebody said Officer Tatum was crying like Stephen and Django. Stop lying. He was. Oh, shoot. Shout out to Dr. Tracy in the house. Thank you for that. Dr. Tracy always comes in here and shows big love. I appreciate you so much for the love you're always showing. Shout out to you for the $200 holla. That is very nice of you. Thank you. She says, ironically, I never knew of Charlie Kirk until yesterday. A lot of people have said that, right? Nevertheless, his candid opinions regarding reparations to the descendants of Black slaves who built this nation for free is preposterous. Absolutely. May his theories, ideologies, and perspective rest in peace right along with him. I agree. We go leave that up there for a second because I agree, right? But Dr. Tracy, they are not dying with him. This is the thing we have to focus on tonight. They are not dying with him at all. It's actually ramping things up, and somehow he has spoken against all kinds of groups of people. It's turned on us, and this is something we really need to pay attention to, y'all. And once again, thank you very much for the $200 super chat. I appreciate you, Dr. Tracy. We got my boy Hotspot Casino in the house with the $10 holla. Says, hey y'all, sup Michi? My mom just passed on August 24th. And the human in me empathizes, but I don't know how to feel. I'm still struggling with my mom passing. Oh, let me say this to you. I send my condolences to you. It is always hard to lose somebody. And let me say this, Hotspot Casino. I'm not saying that I knew who the man was. As Dr. Tracy said, many Black people didn't even know who this man was to be rejoicing or be crying or anything when it comes to him. Now, I did know who the man was. I have watched him, as I've talked a lot about the politics that are going on during this administration. Like, you can't help but to know who the man is, right? But what I will say is that I'm not rejoicing that he's dead. I'm not sad that he's dead. I don't care. I don't have any feelings either way. But let me say, watching the full video of how he got shot and how it looked like, it could be really traumatic to some people. And of course, anybody that has lost somebody, I understand that you feel that. He does have 2 children. He does have a wife. He looked old as hell. That might be that white people aging like milk thing, but I did not know this man was 31. I thought he was much older than that. But he was very young relatively, and he has this family and all of those different things. And so, I mean, I get that. I'm not mad at anybody who is rejoicing, but I'm not forcing anybody to have any empathy. And for anybody who has lost loved ones, if you understand that that pain transcends all races, I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that at all. But once again, I will tell you that I feel for you, and the fact that you lost your mom. You only get one mom. You don't get another one. So much love to you. And I have a lot of empathy for you and what you're going through. I feel nothing when we talk about Charlie Kirk, though. I mean, and I'm going to tell you why I don't, right? It's because if you did watch the man, and we'll watch some of these clips tomorrow when we come back, right? But he actually stated that having empathy for people and sympathy is like and I'm paraphrasing, so I'll let y'all see his words tomorrow before we get into the call-in, but that is like a disease or something on this country. The problem is we have too much empathy and trying to sympathize with too many people. He said this himself. Now, Charlie Kirk said, fuck all this empathy and sympathy for everybody. So according to his words, for people who agreed with him, does that not mean that people should not have empathy or sympathy for him? He also is a man that stated that he believes in not having gun laws and all of that stuff and restricting it. And let me tell you something. I don't disagree with that. I do not feel that they should lock down on our guns, because this is the one thing about gun laws, okay? That you can outlaw certain things. Oh, you can't get a gun here. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't have an assault rifle. You can't make something an automatic. You can't put all these things on guns and all of those good things, right? You can have those laws. But let's be clear. Anybody who is going to use a gun to go out and do something criminal to somebody, rob somebody with it, kill a person, do all of these different things with this gun, those are people that are called criminals. And I want you to know that criminals don't care about the law. So if you implement laws, all you're doing is stopping law-abiding citizens, right, from being able to defend and protect themselves against the criminals who are still going to have the illegal guns, the people who are still going to use automatic rifles and all of these different things. That's not going to stop them. They don't abide by laws. So let's be clear here, you guys. Laws only apply to people who are willing to follow the laws. Laws only apply to people who are willing to follow the law. The people who are misusing weapons are not the people that follow the law. Can we be clear about that? So all you're doing is knowing that we deal with a bunch of criminals. There are people that are willing to take those guns illegally and their rifles and all that and do something to you. As law-abiding citizens, we should have the right to be able to have the same type of firearms and the same type of power to be able to defend ourselves if we come across these criminals who are not going to follow those laws. Does that make sense to everybody? So I don't disagree with Charlie when he says this, right? But he also stated that people will be unalived because of these of allowing people to have their Second Amendment right to be able to carry firearms. He basically is saying there will be casualties because of that. And he said that those casualties are worth it. And the people who die by the hands of these gun incidents are just something we're going to have to accept in order for us to have our gun rights. So did y'all hear what I just said? So he said that what happened to him yesterday, he said that that's just a part of it. And that should be okay if these things happen to people, right? Because this is the small price that we should pay in order to have our guns. This is what he said. So let's understand, based on his own words, we should not have sympathy and empathy for anybody, because sympathy and empathy is some bullshit. This is what Charlie said. So if you're going to respect the man's wishes and his words, why you have sympathy and empathy for him? He told you not to. It's amazing how it's okay when everybody was, yeah, because a lot of people follow him. Check this out. You know who his biggest audience is? Young white people. I want y'all to keep that in mind as we continue to have this conversation tonight. Young white people are his biggest followers, okay? Now, they believe in his rhetoric, so if they do, nobody should be mad. In the honor of this man's words, nobody should be giving him sympathy and empathy based on what he said. Well, he stated that what happened to him yesterday is just something we're going to have to deal with in order to keep the rights of our gun. And it's okay if it happens, because that's just what it is. This is what he said. So all of the black people who don't have no empathy and sympathy for this man, really, they just really, whether they like Charlie or not, you're actually standing in Charlie's stance, whether you know it or not. Okay? Because that was Charlie's stance. So now black people are being chastised. I find that very interesting. I find it really disrespectful, especially coming from other black people. There are plenty of leaders online. Now, let me say, Umar Johnson was one of them. If y'all don't know, I guess I've seen it on somebody else's post, but y'all can go over to his page. I guess it's on his Instagram where he posted it, but he posted a bunch of paragraphs about how, while this man has certain perspectives, and I'm paraphrasing, you could go read it for yourself, that at the end of the day, we shouldn't be rejoicing in death and this and that. I need Umar to shut up. I need Umar not to say anything unless Umar gonna speak about the school. If you're not talking about the school, Umar, why are you talking about anything? And he got his nerve, Mr. Snow Bunny, never, Black Queens forever. He always speaking against the white folks. And now you're telling us that we have to empathize with white people because of what happened to this man. Again, I'm going to tell you, I'm not over here celebrating. I knew who he was, but I don't care. Why do I have to be forced to care? Or somehow I'm a bad person? I'm going to tell y'all like I tell y'all all the time. Do you know how much shit goes on in this world? Do you know? Do you know how many people die? How many of you know about the black lady who went to the school And forgive me, I don't know her name. We have so many tragedies. I don't remember everybody's name. And she went to the school. And yes, this was a thing between all Black people. White people didn't have nothing to do with this. But she went to school to drop off her son. She got into an argument with her baby's father and with his new girlfriend. I don't even know why they was there when they wasn't dropping the kid off. I still have anybody to answer that for me in the scenario. But they got into a fight with her. And the woman shot her and killed her. That's sad. You know, that Black boy is growing up without a mother right now too, and he always has to remember the fact that his father and his triflingness brought his new girlfriend up there, and it's his fault that his mom is gone. That's sad. How many of you know that there was a Black woman that was 19 years old who just got unalived by an immigrant? Have y'all been talking about her story? Somebody said her name is Ramika. Okay, shout out to the Ramika. I didn't know her name. I couldn't remember her name, but it's Ramika. How many of you, like I said, know about the 19-year-old Black girl who was unalived by the immigrant man? 19, whole life ahead of her. So what I'm saying to you in all of this is that every day there are travesties across this whole world. There are plenty right here just in the United States. There are plenty in just the city you live in. And so my thing is, I have enough stuff to be worried about. I mean, I would lose my mind, and you would too, if we went around crying and stressing ourselves out about everything that happened to everybody. So again, I think we have the right to say, I reserve my tears, pain, voice, and fight for my people. We have a lot of travesties in our communities as well. So yeah, I don't care about what's going on to other people that does not affect me or doesn't have to do with my people, okay? And so this is what happened to Charlie, though. It does affect us, not in the way that people want it to affect us, though, right? This is why we see what's going on with the HBCUs. Because y'all got to be careful of this narrative that is out there being played right now. And we'll get to that in 1 minute. But I want to go back to all of the stuff that is happening to us and not, having to show this sympathy for other people. We're being chastised online. Anton Daniels, I seen him last night. He was live, and he said, I'm gonna come back and keep updated on this because I really don't know what's going on. But the first words out this man's mouth was Black people. Black people over here celebrating. Has anybody stopped to go over to TikTok? Go over to TikTok and type in. And if you don't want to know where, I got a whole video coming for y'all, okay? About 12 noon, it should be ready. I want y'all to go see all of the white people celebrating Charlie's demise. Why? This is a crazy thing. Y'all want Black people to feel sorry for him when his own people is over there celebrating. They singing songs about it. They going to mosh pits. They are making all kind of clips about stuff. They are over there laughing at this man while other people was giving him prayers when he first got shot. And they was like, we don't know if he gonna pull through. It was white people over there talking about, I hope he don't make it. I hope his ass don't make it. Why is everybody mad at us? Damn, can y'all leave us out of anything? Leave us alone. Y'all already said it. We got guns and shootings going on in our community. We got all these issues in the ghetto. You know, we just trifling. We got all these problems. So leave us with all our problems and our ghetto asses alone. How about we got enough shit on our plate? But no, we're being chastised. And let me say, I don't appreciate being chastised by other Black people, especially. I don't really care. There's a white lady on TikTok today. I finally decided to post my video over there. There's people on Instagram telling me, oh, you being racist. You should get educated. You don't know nothing about this. I ain't arguing that now, white person. I don't care about what you think or what you saying. I don't care. But Black people are online chastising us. And I think that it's crazy. And some of these people are folks that are supposed to be so-called leaders. And it's amazing to me because this is the thing. How many of you, can we just go back just a little bit to some of the things that have happened to us? What was the rhetoric online when Tamir Rice got killed? Right, they tell us to stop playing victim. Y'all need to stop playing victim. You right, True Cropper? Why don't y'all stop playing victim? The man who passed away told us that what happened to him today was necessary. And sometimes that'll happen, but we still need to keep our gun rights. He said you shouldn't have sympathy and empathy. So again, why are y'all playing victim? He didn't want to be a victim. So why are y'all making him a victim? He is a victim of his own words and his rhetoric. You can't talk that much shit, bro, and not have no more security. Why you ain't have more security than that? I'm just saying, why you ain't check the rooftops and the buildings and shit? You want to hang out with Trump, you ought to have security like your ass is presidential. You wrote a check, your ass couldn't cash. That's what we say in the black community. If there's any white folks, he wrote a check, his ass couldn't cash. He talked too goddamn much. People say you shouldn't be, nothing should happen to you over your words or your opinion. I agree, but in the hood all day long, you get fucked up over your opinion. I guess we experience different lives because you come talking that shit too much to somebody in the hood, you gonna get your ass beat. That's how we roll. So I don't know what y'all talking about. And in human nature, I think if you say the wrong thing to any person, white, whatever, you might get your ass whooped. Who told you words didn't have consequences? Who lied to you and told you that? The question is, are you ready to pay for the consequences of the words that are coming out of your mouth? Words do have consequences. Who told y'all they didn't? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Somebody lied to y'all. A person should never be unalive for their opinion. Well, some niggas think that a crip is good and some think a blood is good. And guess what? They get killed over it all the time. So y'all talking to the wrong group of people. Again, in the black community, we say, don't write yourself a check that your ass can't cash. So you're talking to the wrong people because words get you fucked up where I'm from. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? And apparently y'all learned that yesterday in y'all community. Now watch your mouth. Or be ready for whatever ass whooping or anything else that come for you. That's all I'm saying. And that apply to everybody. We can try and say what's morally, politically, and correct, right? But what's humanly realistic, goddammit? People get punched in their mouth. People get hurt all the time based off the stuff that you say and do. That's just the truth. Why y'all wanna lie about it now? It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. It is. I just want y'all to understand that. It is that way, okay? So again, I want y'all to tell me in the chat, what was they saying about Tamir Rice online when Tamir Rice got killed? Now, Tamir Rice is a 12-year-old boy who wasn't saying nothing to nobody. He wasn't talking junk to nobody. He was at an empty park playing cops and robbers, and he pointed the fake gun at a couple people walking past. The person on the phone, I mean, that's what you did. When I had a water gun when we was little and we was playing, we would act like we were shooting people. That's what kids do. But see, black kids are not allowed to be 12-year-olds. Somehow we're thugs as soon as we come out the womb. They never see a 12-year-old black boy and think he's just 12. But a 12-year-old white boy, oh, he's just Brandon's so nice and beautiful. Fuck out of here with that shit. People was online. This is a baby. They was online with no sympathy, y'all. I know y'all remember this. I'm not the only one. Come on. They was online. I heard everything from, why would he be in the park pointing a gun at people? Because when you have a toy gun, that's what you do. That's what you do. Why would his mama let him go to the park and be playing with that gun? Because that's what we should be able to do, is let our kids go to the park and play. There was nobody even in the park. Even the people on the phone said, I think the gun is fake, but still he got a gun. Okay. And the man rolls up in all of like 6 seconds. He doesn't tell the boy to put the gun down. He gives him no opportunity to do nothing. He shoots the boy. He kills him. And then when his sister, and then handcuffs him. And then when his sister runs to him like, oh my God, my baby brother, then he puts her in the police car and won't let, even when he realizes the gun is not real, that the boy is a little kid, he puts her in the police car and leaves this boy on the ground to spend his last moments dying by himself. I think a person who doesn't have any sympathy for that, like, something's wrong with you. You are a monster. And do you know how much of non-Black America was in comments saying it was his mom's fault, it was his fault? Oh, well. The one thing they didn't say about Tamir, they said about everybody else, is he should have just complied, because the officer never even gave him an opportunity to comply. Do we want to talk about all the shit that they said in the comment section when it came to Trayvon Martin? Does anybody want to have that conversation? What was those comments like? He shouldn't have been where he was. Why he walking through apartments that ain't his? Why he turned around and argue with that man? He was a kid. He should have shown some respect. What? George Zimmerman was also told, don't go the fuck outside and pursue him. The police are on the way. We'll talk to him. But he pursued him and he went with a gun. Okay. Do y'all want to bring it more recent? Like, what did they have to say? And you have to forgive me because there's so many, I don't know how to count them. What did they say about the black man on the train that Daniel Penny killed and they called him a hero? Somebody said Michael Brown, right? They said everything about Michael Brown. Michael Brown, why he turned his back? He was buying blunt wraps. So what? He smoked weed. Let me tell you something. Your mama smoked weed. Your daddy smoked weed. All these white attorneys smoke weed. Them niggas in the White House smoke weed. I heard it was they found a little white dust up in the White House that might have belonged to Kamala. They doing way more than weed. Get the fuck out of here. That justifies it. And I'm glad you brought that point up. Let's talk about the fact that whenever anything happens to black people, they go find your whole record, what you did in high school, what you ate for breakfast, and they bring it all up as to justify what happened to you. These motherfuckers love to say, you should have just complied. What? Why you didn't comply? Why they didn't comply? Why Charlie ain't shut his mouth? Oh, he thought he was safe in a group of his own people. Okay. You don't get to talk shit to black people when your own people didn't even like you, man. What is you talking about? How many of you remember when the black boy got away from his mother and got into at the zoo and got into the cage with that silverback gorilla, ape or whatever, the silverback gorilla? Y'all remember that? And it's a rare gorilla. So first of all, this closure was not closed up like it should be. So the zoo didn't do their due diligence to make it safe. This boy's a little kid. He don't know what's going on. She has several children. She turned her back, and anybody who has had kids, your little 2-year-old will run off in a heartbeat. And it's like, damn, get over here. Get your butt over here, right? You have to do that. I took my grandbaby just recently. Now I got a 2-year-old grandbaby, and we are at the little carnival we're at. And I try to let her get out and walk. Boy, I had to snatch her up real quick a couple times because she was ready to just take off. And if you turn your back for 2 seconds, you put something down, they will be off and out of here. And then you turn around and you don't know where he's at because you're right by the enclosure. This could have happened to anybody. White people was online saying rest in peace to the gorilla. And they were saying, fuck that mother because this gorilla had to die because she didn't watch her kids. Then these motherfuckers went and found the father's name, the father's face, found his record, and was talking shit about him. What? See, I don't have a short fucking memory like a lot of these cooning ass Negroes do, or anybody else that thinks what people are saying. I don't want to say we because I ain't saying shit online about the man. I don't care. But for those that don't care and have had something to say that ain't positive, fuck y'all. How quickly y'all forget. Now let's tell the real story about this lady and her child. First of all, she's a stay-at-home mama, but I thought that y'all said that black women ain't no good, don't nobody want to marry them, and that, you know, she just a trifling ass mother. She's not trifling. She wasn't at home in her bonnet all day just smoking weed and drinking 40s like y'all like to make it seem like we do. She was actually at the zoo trying to have a good day with her children and do something constructive with them. The father was at work so he could pay the fucking bills, is what fathers should do, and they were together and they were married, but everybody missed that. Y'all still tried to turn it into this a no good nigga with a record. Oh, and why she not watching her kids? See, I have not forgot the fucking comments that are always online when it comes to white people. And the crazy thing is, Charlie was a grown ass man. Y'all want us to have sympathy for his daughter who don't have a father? Oh, so now we're supposed to have sympathy for the little white girl. But nobody has sympathy for the 12-year-old little black boy. Nobody has sympathy for the 2-year-old black baby that could have been torn apart by that gorilla. And the zoo admitted that they were at fault and they should have had the closure closed up better because the kids shouldn't have been able to walk through there. Right? Nobody has any sympathy for Trayvon Martin. Oh, but we have to have sympathy for his little white daughter. Y'all sound crazy as fuck to me. See, because at the end of the day, I haven't forgotten how they talk about us whenever anything happens to our people. They go find everything bad about them. They show no sympathy. They show no remorse. They try and find a way to say that we deserve everything that happens to us. I don't know what fucking America y'all live in, and I don't know what social media y'all be on, but y'all sound crazy. But as soon as it comes to this white man, we should all respond different to them. See, it's amazing to me how, again, I'm gonna use that bully analogy. The bully want to bully every fucking body, but then as soon as somebody give their ass a taste of their own medicine, we're the ones that are wrong. That's crazy as hell to me. We're wrong for doing to them what they've always done to us. And then you're going to have these Christian Negroes out here who are going to say, well, you can't beat the devil by being the devil. If you don't shut that kumbaya shit up, the only thing you should ever meet violence with is violence, baby. I don't know who told you that pieces of paper with words on it with bullhorns and begging motherfuckers or praying for them cause them to leave you alone. A motherfucker breaking your house right now. I hope you don't get your ass on your knees and start praying. You better fight that motherfucker with the same fire he came in your house with. Black folks always got to bend the knee. Well, that's not what God would say. That's that Christian rhetoric. I'm not a Christian, so don't say that dumb shit to me. I don't give no fuck about what the Bible told you. I don't pray for my enemies. Okay? I'd rather just sit the hot coal on their motherfucking forehead. So I don't know what y'all be talking about. They want us to buy that rhetoric. Oh, we should pray. Oh, we should be better. Don't act like the devil. The only thing that can defeat the devil is the devil. What you talk about, fire with fire. Who told you that that does not work? Yeah, because everybody else does that. But when it comes to us, we should be good Negroes. See, they've been teaching us that since the plantation. I think not. I think not. And here you come getting these gatekeeping ass Negroes who want to come over here and tell Black, well, you shouldn't be acting like this. Shut up. Do you go this hard when white people are doing the same thing in the comment section that I just gave y'all all the examples of? Because they do this to us every time like clockwork. It's expected. We don't even act shocked behind it any goddamn more. But we got to be the better person. You sound like a fool. I don't understand this. And for anybody who has that same perspective, something wrong with you. You're a punk bitch, and it shows in life. Anybody who walks behind praying for their enemies or who are out here worried about somebody and people who have always done you wrong, and then when it's time for them to get they just due, well, I don't want to be like them. That's why we're in the situation we're in now. Because you only willing to pick up a gun and cause havoc in your own communities. You only willing to slap the shit out of another nigga. You only willing to go to prison for the rest of your life for another Black man. When you gonna have that same energy towards these other motherfuckers? When? When? That's the problem. We always sit back. Maybe in Christianity, y'all real problem is that you look at a white savior and don't nobody bring your ass in here and tell me Jesus is Black. My Jesus ain't white. Any of that rhetoric that you was taught from the plantation in that book that's been plagiarized and they done put a whole bunch of other shit in it to make you bow down to the white man and then gave you an image of a white Jesus. This is why on the end of all my videos, I give you Black Jesus, right? Looking at you like, is you niggas crazy? Because if Jesus was Black, the Bible wouldn't read the way y'all keep reading it. It would read completely different, baby. Let's be real. That's white man's rhetoric that came from the plantation. Crazy thing is, the KKK, they're all Christians. And kill your ass, hang you from a tree, and burn across in your yard in a heartbeat, and take their ass to church and sing Kumbaya with their white neighbors and kids the very next day. Are you serious? See, white people that are Christians never take the same approach that you take. Only Black people take that approach. We got to be better than them. No, you need to get the fuck up and stop being a punk. That's what you need to do. How about that? Because there's about to become a time. The reason I played that video at the beginning, because there's a time that is coming right now in your face that I think you need to get some heart if you don't have no heart right now. And what I mean by heart is not love. In the hood, when we say they get some heart, that means don't be a punk ass bitch. That's what that means. Okay, so let me read this super chat before I miss it. And then we're going to talk about what you need to pay attention to when it comes to these HBCUs. Because from all of that we've said, now we're at the point where the news is spewing this rhetoric. And I think they're lying. I don't even think a motherfucker called the schools and did that. I don't think so. And if they did, ain't nobody planning on doing nothing. That shit is just to do what I'm about to tell you they trying to do. Let me go back. I missed a couple of these, didn't I? Lisa, I don't know if I did. Shout out to Lisa for the $20 holler. Shout out to A Faith Is All We Need for the $2 holler. Says spiritually, it made Christians are taught. Let me tell you something. I don't buy that rhetoric. I'm not kumbaya with nobody that's my enemy. I'm not. I need you to be destroyed. The way y'all want to destroy it. I got the devil under my feet. Every time I be in church, I got the devil under my feet. I want to have my foot on my enemy neck. That's the song I say. Bitch, I'm going to put my foot on your neck. That's the hymn y'all should be singing. You got the devil under your feet. Well, put your enemy under your feet too. Put your foot on their neck. Shout out to you, Jay, for the $5 holler. Jay said, sad thing, our people only cared about George Floyd because it was an election day. Activated white people told them. Absolutely. Tamir was energy. I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you for the $5 holler. And shout out to Ty for the 99 cents, and shout out to Ty for the $1.99. Says martial art, quote, demons hand angels hearts. Yeah, after they rip that shit out your chest on some Mortal Kombat shit. This is what we need to get on, some Mortal Kombat shit, okay? So let's get into the HBCU, y'all. Why are they doing this now? Why do we have the HBCU going on and there's these threats, right? Why is this coming about after what happened to this man? Now, let me say this to you. I've seen rhetoric online that they think it was a setup. I've seen rhetoric online that says they don't believe it's real. They believe he ain't really dead. Like, there's a lot of people that have said a lot of things about this situation, and I don't know about that. I will tell you that it was very interesting. If you watched it when he got shot, if you pay attention, the man that is speaking to him is asking him about gun violence, right? In the country. And he goes, would this include gangs? And bow, that's as soon as it was over for him when he opened it. So he got shot at the moment he was asked the question about gun violence. It's like the person that was waiting to pull the trigger was waiting for him to bring up gun violence. It's like they did it at a certain timing. It was like they was waiting for that moment. What I will tell you is that whoever shot this man is a professional. Okay, this is not a nigga from O Block, so I don't know why y'all mad at us. We have seen the pictures. This is clearly a white man that they're looking for as a person of interest in these photos. Shout out to you, Jay, for the $2 holler. Says I ran out of where was the energy for Tamir. Okay, I got you. I ran out of that energy too. I'm just making a point of it, right? Because to me, look, Tamir was that moment when I saw that we wasn't finna get up and burn this motherfucker down over Tamir. I just knew that meant we wasn't never gonna get up. If Tamir didn't do it for you, nothing gonna do it for you. So maybe going into civil unrest will do it for you. Either that or you gonna be at the wayside. So something gonna make your ass get up, even if it's a hot bullet on your ass. So I mean, something gonna wake you up. But I feel the same way. Tamir was a very defining point for me when it came to my people and the things that we go through. It was very eye-opening for me, not only in just how far the hatred goes, but how much our people are willing to sit back and not do a motherfucking thing. That's what it opened my eyes to. And it was very difficult to come to them terms. But like I said, if Tamir didn't make us get up and really go to war, like nothing will. There's nothing else they can do that's even more shocking than that. That was it for me, right? But in these HBCUs, you guys know that this to me seems like a setup to cause certain things to happen. The man that shot him was an expert. I find it interesting that they still have not found the man. So he did all of this. He shot him, and the man has gotten away. Nobody knows where he is. They're still looking for him. So that's very interesting that they haven't got him yet. That seems weird to me. But the next thing is, who sent that man? I would not be surprised if it was politicians who sent that man, if the government did that, because when you trigger something, you can use that as a reason to trigger other things. Okay. So whoever did what they did to him, whether it's real, whether it's fake, the bottom line is let's look at what they're presenting to us. That's what matters. What are they presenting to us? How are they presenting this shit to us? And what is it? Why are they doing this? Right? That's what we got to go a little deeper down this rabbit hole, and don't take it for face value. Whoever did that to him is not a regular person, okay? This is a person that works for the military. Now, let's just go down the rabbit hole a little bit. How many times have we found these situations in our country where people are like New Orleans, driving a car through crowds of people, blowing up Teslas in front of the Trump building and crazy shit like that? Why do we always find out that these people are military? Right? We find that out a lot. These people are not terrorists from other countries. They're military, American government military, and these are the people causing these things. So again, we have to remember that whoever did this, they were sent to do this. Who sent them? I don't know, but it was definitely a professional. And the fact that the FBI and them are saying they don't know who this man is and he is still on the run, that all just clarifies for me that at the end of the day, this was a setup from another perspective. Now, why did they want this to happen? So that they could do exactly what they're doing now, y'all. I don't know how this white man went from being killed by another white man, and now all of a sudden we're the scapegoats, and now HBCUs are on lockdown, and they're sending threats to Black colleges. See, we're so concerned about this civil unrest and thinking the military are going to come in on our streets and they're going to be the things, they're going to do stuff to us. No. Trump wants to put military in all of these cities because he wants to be there and be prepared when the shit that they cause to hit the fan. So when we talk about civil war, we're not talking about necessarily going to war, first of all, with the government or the military. We're talking about citizens against citizens. Let's be clear. Citizens against citizens. And then the military will come in and use that as a reason to be able to negate curfews, use deadly force if they need to stop things. Now, we already watch when the government come in and it's time to do shit, who they protect and who they don't. In Katrina, they left Black people on roofs and the helicopters flew over them to go find white people. They were shooting people, calling them looters that were Black because the whole place is flooded and you are really shooting people because they're trying to get supplies because they need to eat and y'all ain't getting them none, so y'all killing them. So I want you to understand that when the military do get out there on the streets and say there's this upheaval, this civil unrest going on amongst citizen to citizen, that's going to be their cue to do whatever is necessary to get stuff back in order. And they're going to do a lot of unjust taking people out that they feel shouldn't be here. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, tomorrow, I have some videos for you that we are going to get into, you guys. But there are a lot of people online that are supporters of Charlie, and they're saying, where do I sign up for civil war? Where do you sign up for civil war? Let the civil war begin. Oh, civil war about to happen. It was a white lady on the news when they were talking to her live, and I couldn't find it again because it was a live stream when he first got shot, and they were talking about it. So it was hours long. So I can't go back and find the clip of where it is because they took it, chop it up. So I couldn't find it. But during the live stream, this woman was saying that white lady, I want y'all to listen to what she said. She said, this is crazy. We're about to go into civil war. Watch right now. Charlie's people, we know what to do. We know about having our gun rights. And at this time, I think that we should all do that. She said, the gun stores are getting ready to sell out. The gun stores are getting ready to sell out. On some Umar shit. The gun stores, brothers and sisters and brothers are getting ready to sell out. I told y'all when COVID came and I was in Colorado, we was all running to the store for toilet paper. White folks was at the gun shop and they were waiting for bullets like we were waiting for toilet paper. So as the trucks were pulling up, they were buying ammunition and the gun shops were running out of ammunition, real shit, right? So as soon as like you was at the store and the toilet paper truck pulled up, the white people had toilet paper. They was at the gun store waiting for the truck to show up with the load of ammunition. And as soon as it got there, they were buying it out and it was none left. Why would they be going to the gun? Why are they going to go buy more guns and ammunition right now? Why would they be doing that? Who are they fighting? Because you think it's a regular civilian? Are white people finna fight white people? I think not. Why would this woman be saying? She said it on live news too, and the Fox person was like, yeah, okay. How's my casino? Shout out for the $10 holler. Said this is a warning to everybody. Pay very close to a company called Pantier. That's the company I was talking about earlier. And their moves and biometric technology. Absolutely. 29 countries are about to change many things using bio IDs. You are absolutely right. We're gonna have a video, you guys, and thank you for the $10, brother. We are going to have a video. We're going to talk about that company that he just mentioned. We are definitely going to talk about that company because it is a lot to be said about the company. And it is a company out of Israel, right? This is a Jewish company. And so keep that in mind, right? But this woman says that the gun stores are about to sell out. Okay. There are people online saying they're ready to sign up for the Civil War. Now let's listen to this wording, right? Why would they be getting guns and getting ready to go to war? Well, who? Who exactly? Because we know that a white man, or they're claiming the man that they're looking for is a white man in the video, right? Right? So who they going to war with? Their own people? You think they buying them guns to fight the government? His supporters are actually down with this administration. He's a very avid Trump supporter. So are the people that follow him. And so they're not getting the guns for the government because that's not who they think they have to fight. They're not going to go out there and just fight random white people. So who are they ready to go to war with? Because civil war is when we are all at war here in these streets together. So who they going to war with? Now, remember, the media pushes perspectives to get the outcome that they want. Mr. PL Man said Palantir. Did I say it wrong? That is how you say it. Thank you for the pronunciation. I will murder some words if I never heard it before. You leave me alone, okay? Palantir. Did I say it wrong? Anyway, we're going to talk about that company another day. Okay. But I want y'all to pay attention to the rhetoric because the media, social media or news media, helps to push the emotions of people so they can put you in the state of mind that they need you to be in, whether they are pushing fear mongering or pushing buttons for people to go and do the things that they want them to do, right? They use the media. The media is one of the biggest weapons. And since we're going to speak about Palantir, an Israel company, guess what? The media is owned. 98% of all of it is owned by Jewish people, by Israel as well. So again, they are out here telling us that straight up on TV, letting people say we're about to go to civil war, we're about to buy out all of these guns. They're letting them say this on the news. And then next thing you know, we hear that there are threats to the HBCUs. Why? Why? I don't know if I believe the threats. I don't think the threats are valid. I think they've just been put out there to push a narrative. So they want to go to war with somebody. Who you going to war with? Black people? Is this why we're projecting this now? Why would people be threatening HBCUs? And you got all the Charlie people in the street now. There was a visual. Somebody shout out to my general. He just sent me a video that was online, and there was a visual for Charlie, and there was another white man rolled up to the visual. He a LGBTQ person with his rainbow book bag on, and he was like, "Fuck Charlie," and they jumped him and beat him, being violent as hell. So tensions are high. And if you don't have any sympathy for this man, the people that loved him because he is now a martyr for them. And remember when I told you most of his followers are young white people. These are young people. These are the young white boys that got guns. They got guns. They got guns. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. They got guns. They have guns. They have lots of guns. They've had guns since they were little because when it's white America, it's their constitutional right. When it is black people in pictures with guns, we're being thugs. When the white boys have it, they always going hunting and it's always for a good purpose. No, they got their guns and they've been training, and it's a white boy that's 14 that will take your ass out from the roof just like they took Charlie ass out. So we're not ready. We're not ready. And I've been telling y'all to get ready. We're not ready. So now they are angry, and they're angry, and this is a bunch of young people. They're angry at all the people who don't have any respect, any regard, any sympathy, any empathy for Charlie. And if you speak against the man and you talk about the man because he is their savior, their martyr, their leader, they ready to hurt you. They are ready to hurt you over this man. That is the truth. And now you watching the media, this narrative being pushed. Unfortunately, also, because when I say media, I also mean social media. And unfortunately, this narrative is also being pushed by stupid ass black coons who think, oh, I'm siding with the white people. Oh, I'm gonna sit up here, I'm gonna get my commentary, I'm gonna get some views so I can get my check on YouTube. And you're helping to push the narrative, because when you see other black people saying that black people are being disregarding to this man, when you watch black people who do videos and they're gonna put up a bunch of black people who say they don't care about this man, but they fail to show you all the videos of the white people saying they don't care about this man, and much less are they saying they don't care. White people are celebrating. I ain't seen a black person celebrate that he was dead yet. I just heard them say they don't care. White people are celebrating. They are singing songs. They have made up I found a video that a white person made. I'm gonna show it to y'all. Y'all gonna see it in the video I post tomorrow. When the man gets shot, he fall over like this. These motherfuckers done took that video with AI and they done turned it into a dance. He act like he about to fall, and then he come back, and then he do like this, and he keep coming back. They made the moment this man got shot into a fucking dance. White people did this. Didn't no black people do this. White people are literally celebrating. But online, you got people pushing this narrative that black people are being disrespectful and we should be a certain way. And the sad part is that it's other black people pushing it, which is going to validate it for these motherfuckers. Oh, if another black person is saying it, then you know it's really true. That's the problem with that. So this is the narrative being pushed. And now HBCUs are on lockdown because there's been threats to the school. This didn't happen at an HBCU. It happened in Utah. White campus, white college, white people, white victim. But you see how quickly the narrative became racist, black versus white? Why? So I want to tell y'all in this video before I get out of here tonight. Again, I will be back tomorrow. We're going to do a call-in. I'm going to actually show you guys some clips of the things this man has said. And some of the people saying about civil war and what they want to go to. And then we're going to have a conversation. Now, remember, tomorrow when we do get into this conversation, we're also going to not forget about the fact, because we're not going to let this deter us, right? Because it all, I think, comes together. It all works together. But the fact that Trump is still coming into Chicago, I don't know if they're already there yet. Maybe some Chicagoans can let me know. Or that he is still trying to send troops to 19 cities, okay? That still all plays into this as well. We're not going to forget that that's going on just because something happened to this white man. But I do need you to watch your front and watch your back and your side, because there's a whole lot of angry people out there, and they're angry at black folks and a lot of other people. They're angry at the LGBTQ and a lot of other groups too, but they're angry at black people unjustly. But America's always been unjustly angry at black people. And the fact that they've turned this into a race thing just shows you how racist America is, that even when we don't do shit, they still bring it back to us. And somehow we're the problem. That's crazy as hell to me, but that is the country that we live in. That is the reality that we live in as black people. And so we're going to discuss all of that, right? We talked about quite a few things this week, whether it was the troops and crime and even the black man. I'm going to show you guys, because Charlie has something to say about the black man as well. And he tried to play it like it's this race thing of what happened to the lady on the train. Knowing this man is mentally ill, this was not a race issue. This was a mentally ill person that did what he did, okay? And so that is something that has to be discussed. But do you know that the news literally put up on the news? I'm going to show it to you. We're going to look at it tomorrow, you guys. The news literally put up on the news that they put this graph up, and they showed how many black people are killed by white people and how many white people are killed by black people. And they show you this number, like 140,000. I'll show you the clip of black people that have crimes committed or murder. I don't know if it's crimes are committed. It might just be crimes, but we'll see when we play it. But they say that 140,000 black people are victims of crimes by white people. But then they say that 300 and something white people are victims of crime of black people. Then underneath that chart, they have other category. So underneath Black people, they have an other category that's like 300 and something thousand. Under the white people, they have an other category that says unknown. So they saying they don't know who these assailants are. And that was 600 and something thousand. Okay. Why is the news talking about who does more crime to each other, white versus Black? When if you have 300 and something thousand people that is unknown what their race is that have done stuff to Black people, how do we know that those unknown people aren't white as well? When you say that there is 600 and something thousand crimes that have happened to white people, but you don't know what those people races are, then isn't it fair to say that those races, that there could be 300,000 people who committed crimes against white people that are Hispanic? But it's amazing to me how Black and white are not the only people in this country, but the fucking news is playing this game of who commits more crime against each other, white versus Black. But you have these giant ass categories underneath and you say these people are unknown. We don't know these races. Why don't you have it broken down by every race in this country? Because they playing fucking games, y'all. They stirring the pot. And if you're not ready, you better fucking get ready. Because I've been screaming this shit for many years. Now, we're going to go on an all-out war? I don't know. But that don't mean you ain't going to be walking your Black ass down the street somewhere and you might not get fucked up by some white people. They're angry and they're on the hunt and they want to be upset with somebody other than being upset with their own people because your own people did this to Charlie, not us. But it doesn't matter what the truth is. It matters what can be projected. It matters the irrationalness of people's emotions. It matters what's being put out there. And the country that we already live in that is full of racism and that is quick to spew a narrative that people are willing to buy before we actually see reality of what is going on. So I want to say to y'all, like, if you live in the hood and you think a gun is a bad thing, you better stop thinking that right now. Bad people do bad things with guns. Guns are not bad. Okay? It's all about whose hand it's in. So get a weapon to protect yourself and get some ammo. I say this all the time. If you get a gun and you got one little box of 12 bullets, your ass, what is you ready for? What are you ready for? You like that nigga on the on Harlem Nights and everybody shooting, and every now and then he come with that little ass gun. Pow! Pow! They was like, if you don't put that little shit down, do not be him. Do not be him, okay? Don't be him on Harlem Nights. Be the one with the big gun, okay? So make sure you have some ammunition. But aside from that, if you already have a piece and you like, me, I got a gun. And if you listen to this and you're a little thug in the hood and you got a gun, if you ain't going and training with your gun, I'm going to need you to spend some time training. Go find the range in your area. If you are somewhere where you have an outdoor range, even better, okay? Go and practice with that gun. Learn how to be skilled with the weapon you have, because having a gun and simply pulling it out and pulling the trigger, it is way more to it than that, okay? Practice your aim. Practice to understand how to take cover while you're shooting. Learn the ins and outs of your gun, because it takes more than just pulling the trigger or bracing a big gun on your shoulder and then shooting that mug. So you should learn how to use your weapon and get skilled. I've been saying this for forever. And there's going to come a time where it's going to be too late to say that shit anymore. We are in a time that America has not been in a long time, based on the administration that we have, all of the things that are happening, the new world order coming into play. Things are changing very quickly, very drastically. People are very upset and angry. The media is pushing all kind of narratives, whether it's from what Trump is saying, other people are saying, and all of these narratives are coming together to play this game, and it's playing the American people. And when the shit hits the fan, all of the media, all of the politicians, all of the people who have played this game, they're not going to be anywhere to be seen. And it's going to be the American people against the American people. And that means white versus Black, because you notice that's how they always divvy it up, because they're way more racist than Black people in this country. They say we only 13%, yet and still it's always Black and white. But they tell us, well, racism don't exist. Oh, that shit done been over for a long time. So why the fuck do you keep talking to us about Black and white when it's Hispanics, it's Asians, it's all kind of other fucking races of people in this country, but you only keep bringing it to Black and white? That's for a reason, y'all. That's for a reason. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because I promise you that before this administration is over and these 4 years are gone, and some people say Trump, if we go into war, right? Trump can actually use that to push the election down. And that is true. If you understand politics, if we're at active war, especially if we're in civil war, right? If you are in war, even if you're in war with another country, right? They can suspend the elections during that time and have it revisited every year. And they don't need your permission to do so. They don't. So when the 4 years is up, maybe it could be longer, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot more bullshit that's going to happen in the next couple of years, whether it comes from losing your job, people trying to take your life, uproar and fighting. People are on the edge. People are losing their minds. People are dealing with a lot. And I just want you to know it's going to get worse. It's not finna get better. Everybody got to learn to live with AI. People is homeless. Folks ain't got jobs. If prices of shit is going up, at the end of the day, people are combating with a lot of bullshit on top of everything else that they want to put up on it. So I just think that you should be prepared in these times for whatever. And when I say prepared, that means a weapon. We've talked about this a lot, but that also means being prepared for anything that could happen, right? Power outages, food shortages in your grocery stores. Plenty of things can happen. So just make sure that y'all ready, y'all. Everything ain't a joke or a game, and everything's not here to entertain. Okay? And when the shit hit the fan, it'll be too late to get ready. And what I don't wish is that anybody who's listening to me, for those that have, and they like, meet y'all prepared, like the sister who had her to-go bag ready, and she had the fires happen in Altadena, and then she was like, look, I had my bag ready, so I was ready. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, damn, we should have listened to meet you. Because that means something bad probably finna happen to you one way or another. When I say bad, I don't mean a white boy kicking in your door. I mean, you about to be hungry. You're not going to be able to survive the situations that may come against you or that we may be in. Cyber attacks, your government is out of control right now. And that's all government. I'm going to keep saying government. People get mad when I say that shit. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's Democrat or Republican. It's all the motherfuckers. Your government is your government. And you got citizens that's losing their goddamn mind. You got angry white folks who ready to burn shit down. And the one thing I will say about white people, they will go burn some shit down. Unlike we will. They will go burn some shit down. They will. They will storm the Capitol. I think we've all seen that when our asses won't. So yeah, I think we got to get it together, y'all. If you haven't, you should start. And if you have started, congratulations. Keep going. With that said, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Before you leave this video, give it a like. Give it a share. Share this with somebody, right? Subscribe if you have not. Hit that notification bell on your notification. A lot of y'all told me in my comment section, Michi, they ain't give me no notifications in a long time. Well, go to that notification bell on my front page. When you first subscribe, they will give you what they want you to have, you guys. Shout out to Gail in the house tonight. I love you, Gail. Thank you for all of the help that you always give. But check out that notification bell, y'all. Put it on all, and then you will get notified every time, right? Other than that, they're going to pick and choose based on the algorithm of what the fuck is being said. And I'm not always talking about what's popular in the algorithm. I'm talking about what's necessary. So that if you ain't getting your notifications, make sure you check that. Everybody, do not forget that if you don't want to watch these commercials on here, you can go over and get your paid subscriptions. That would be great to support a sister. But if not, you can get your free one. And while I'm live, you can watch these lives over on MX Network. Shout out to everybody on MX Network chiming in over there. We have our own chat section. You can talk over there. You can give over there as well. And you don't have to watch any commercials, okay? Now, after the live is over, you guys only have a short amount of time to rewatch it. If not, then it goes into the paid subscription for the paid subscribers. So make sure you check that out. Also, do not forget to look at the link in the description of this video. And for those of you in the LA area, or you can make it to LA, right? We will be having an event on September 20th and 21st. All of the information is at the link. It is a donation-based event, so give what you can and bring whoever you think needs to come and get this information that we will be talking about. This may unfortunately be my last event. It may be my retirement event. I don't know how much I'm going to be going out and doing events in the community. Again, I said I'm a sucker for my community. So I'm not saying if somebody hit me up and was like, Michi, come out here and, work with us. But like I said, I've given a lot and Negroes don't want to meet nobody halfway. And so, I'm not coming out of my pocket to do a bunch of stuff in the community when people don't really care, take the time to show up or want to do their part in giving, right? I can't be the only one giving to do something for the community. If you care, then you got to give too. And if not, then, Michi gonna talk to y'all, but from afar. You can see me here, you can see me on my network. Of course, I have my classes, all of the things that I be doing. But I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to hop on the airplane to be coming and trying to do something for the community. I'm not gonna give you a definite no, but I'm gonna tell you 95%. This is probably my last event. So if y'all want to come out to any event that Michi's had, all the events I've done over the years, Black Agenda from a standing in your face perspective is retiring. Okay, y'all. So with that said, y'all have a good night. Stay Black, stay strong, stay awake, and stay safe, y'all. And I will see y'all tomorrow. And we'll do this call-in show. Y'all have a good night.